Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about zodiac sign compatibility between Aquarius and another Aquarius. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant for both people. Well, anyway, I see this as neutral as far as the compatibility and synastry goes for both people. You can have a mutual admiration society to some degree due to the fact that they have many the same attributes and qualities. But at the same time, when you have two people of the same sign, you could have the familiarity breeds contempt theory apply as well. You can have certain friction. Some of the similar attributes that these people possess might actually exasperate each other. So let me give you some insight into this. With Aquarius, well, both people may admire each other as far as being progressive, revolutionary, very innovative. They may have a very strong communication exchange of new ingenious ideas and much thought-provoking conversation. These Aquarians often emphasize intellectual stimulation and really can be very deep as far as a mental level goes, but not always so on the emotional level, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But as far as the similar characteristics which may rebuff each other, well, especially I think the idiosyncratic and unpredictable behavior that often exists with Aquarius. Now, Aquarius can be very tolerant, don't get me wrong, but these two people may be taken aback by each other due to these qualities of the unpredictability and sometimes idiosyncratic behavior. Both people may be somewhat eccentric, and they may also have kind of an erratic schedule. Aquarians often like to have their own schedule. They have often they don't want to be confined or fenced in outlook, so to speak. And the thing about this is neither one really is adaptable really in general to like a regimented type consistent schedule. And if despite Aquarians being very loyal and steadfast because it is a fixed sign, as far as having to do something consistently and be there at that same time every day for someone, that could be very difficult. And if one of these people is expecting the other to do that, they could be in for a rude awakening. So those are some things to look at as far as the compatibility goes with Aquarian. So, and the thing about this is, if this is say a platonic relationship, and they're trying to ascend and escalate to a higher level, say as a significant other romantic sexual relationship, it's not impossible, but could be a little bit difficult because Aquarians are often difficult to really know deeply, and it could be hard perhaps for them to do it because you could have two people that really may take their time in really getting to know each other deeply. Aquarius can be somewhat enigmatic and they can be very hard to figure. They can also have certain detachment and be aloof to a certain degree, even with those at times that are really their loyal, steadfast allies. And that just general behavior often by Aquarius. And so it's something to consider as far as this goes. And really, another thing is the fact that Aquarians often have a lot of friends, and you might get really a situation where Aquarius might want to hang out with some other people, sometimes some of their other friends, and then you might have the other Aquarian wonder, well, what's going on? I need to know. I mean, I don't know why this person's not here as much for me as he or she feels he or she should be. So, and you could have the same situation on the other side of the coin, so to speak. The other Aquarian might be wanting more time with that other Aquarius. So that's another thing to look at. And in other words, each one might feel like maybe they're deprived of time for themselves by, from each other. So really, that could be something to look at as far as this compatibility may go. But this is a thing where these two people can often collaborate on scientific endeavors and projects, and it could be very positive as far as that goes because these two people can really have a lot of very good ideas. Now, the thing about it, as I stated before, that both can be detached, and it could be a difficult process to establish a emotional rapport. And also, on the positive side, though, both may show very strong consideration toward each other. Aquarius can be very considerate and be willing to give each other their space from time to time. But at the same time, as I stated previously, is that one or both may become exasperated and annoyed at some point if the other one is not there for him or her as much as he or she feels they need to be. So that is another thing to look at. And also, they could really exhibit a very strong amiable nature toward each other and selflessness as well. And another thing is that both of them may really exhibit a rather eclectic style in the bedroom, so to speak. Both of them may be amazed perhaps by each other's originality as far as this goes. But the thing is, as I stated, it's really, you can have some strong emotional detachment, and really these two people, one of them, if one is looking for a stronger emotional rapport with the other, it may be difficult. But at the same time, keep in mind that really the looking at just this one form, this one element of compatibility only touches the surface of a real extensive compatibility reading. So I suggest, especially when you're looking at two people of the same sign, is to really study the other synastry aspects really well, because it's kind of like that it's really the tiebreaker, I think, especially when you have two people of the same zodiac sign. Really, because it's neutral, you've got to really strongly look at the other aspects to kind of be that tiebreaker for that particular, as far as, like in this example, two Aquarians. So, because you can't go by one compatibility aspect and isolate it as far as compatibility goes. Well, anyway, it's also important to look at the aspect, if any, that is made between the energies of these people, as this could indicate as to perhaps maybe a little better compatibility than otherwise indicated, or perhaps maybe about the same, and I'm going to get to that. Now, as far as conjunction, in many instances you'll have a conjunction aspect. And let's say, for example, one person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius at 4 degrees, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius at 6 degrees. Well, this could be intensifying and neutral. They are neutral by sign, so if you have the conjunction aspect as well, this is basically another neutral aspect. It can be very intensifying, but you could have a really, it might be a situation with a conjunction where you feel like you have that instantaneous click, so to speak, but at the same time, because you have these energies so close to each other, it might breed, so it might make some friction. And the familiarity breeds contempt theory can come and apply as well. Well, anyway, you could also have a semi-sextile aspect take place between the energies of these people. Let's say, for example, one person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius at 0 degrees, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Aquarius at 29 degrees. Well, I call that slightly positive or slightly auspicious. It's like a sextile, but it's modified because it is a minor aspect, so I call it good but not great. Keep in mind also that they are neutral by sign, so you've got to factor that into the equation as well. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for zodiac sign compatibility between Aquarius and Aquarius. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about zodiac sign compatibility between Aquarius and Pisces. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.